Hey, it's Ajlal, and in this video, I'm going to show you how incredibly easy it is to use PodGorilla and create good podcasts with it. Now, the first step, of course, is to go ahead and add a podcast. So let's go and do that. Now, you can really create a podcast about anything that you'd like. Let's say I want to go with something like agentic AI. Now, this is going to be the name of my podcast. I can, of course, add an intro and outro as well that I can create within PodGorilla and implement it into my podcast. So this will then introduce and have an outro on my podcast every single episode that I create with it. But for now, I'm just gonna leave that and move on and select my speakers. Now, by default, we have quite a few speakers in here for you that you can use across different niches. So, they have different kinds of expertise. And on top of that, you can also clone your own voice and add yourself in as a speaker too. Right now, I'm just gonna say go ahead with one of the speakers that we have in here already. And then I can ask AI to write a description about this podcast. So let's say I want this podcast to be about agentic AI and its applications in business, or to be specific, online business. So let's go ahead and send this to AI. It's going to take a few seconds and then it's going to write me the description for this podcast. And this particular step is kind of important because it helps us understand what the entire podcast is about. So when we go on to generate episodes for it, it has this particular context. And there we have our podcast description. So it has the core theme and purpose, the target audience, the episode structure, tone and style, speaker dynamics, common discussion topics, USP, and preferred output for our AI engine. Now, of course, you can go ahead and make any changes that you'd like in here, but I'm just gonna submit this and go in and actually start creating the first episode for it. All right, our podcast is now created. Let's go ahead and create our first episode. I'll just call this, say, in 2025. I'll just give it a catchy name. And then I can invite any guests that I would like into this particular podcast. So these could again be from our list of speakers, or it could be, your own speakers that you can add into PodGorilla as well. So let's just say I'm gonna invite this person as a guest to my podcast, and then I can. There are three main ways that I can use to create podcasts. First of them is that I can enter a custom topic. Then I could also use a video URL from YouTube or Vimeo. And what this does is it basically takes the captions or subtitles of those videos and converts them into a podcast script. And then lastly, I can also submit a page URL for a blog, for example, and convert that into a podcast as well. For now, I'm just gonna stick with a custom topic, and I'm just gonna type in the same topic that I have in my episode name, and then I can select from our templates on the structure of how I want the podcast to be. Let's say I want it to be educational, and I can also change the tone. I'm just gonna stick with casual for now, and then I can click submit. You can also define the ethnicity of the people that you have on your podcast, and that way it would basically tailor a few words and accents according to that particular ethnicity. All right, now that our episode has been generated, let's go ahead and view it. And you can go ahead and basically take a look at the entire script that has been generated for you. And once you're satisfied with it, you can go ahead and create voices of the entire episode, or you can even individually do that. You can also add in your own lines and all for a particular speaker. So for example, you want to add a text line, you could do that, and then you can assign the speaker of your choice from the speakers that are available in this particular episode. I'm just gonna remove this one for now. And by the way, you can also add advertisements that you can build within PodGorilla into this particular podcast as well. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and generate the audios. So as you can see, it's going to now start generating all the 23 voices for the dialogues that we have here. So let's give it a minute and I'm going to come back once this is done. All right, it's almost done here. Just one last voice left.
Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Agentic AI. I'm your host, Devlin Ash, and today we're diving into a topic that's literally reshaping the business landscape as we know it. I'm thrilled to have a very special.
So as you can see, our audio is now ready and I can go ahead and already download the MP3 file. Or, if I want to make any changes, I can still go ahead and do that, add any dialogues that I want or advertisement and all. And then once I'm satisfied with it, I just have to save it. And now I can go ahead and also start publishing this onto any of my podcast shows that I have on tools like Spotify or SoundCloud or anything similar, even Apple iTunes. And to do that, all you have to do is create an RSS feed. So you can basically automatically add every single episode that you have on the feed URL. And you can submit this into Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple iTunes and all. And it's gonna keep on updating every single time you add an episode, and it's gonna automatically publish it to your Spotify account. Then you can also generate a cover image. So I'll just say and you can even upload your own image as well, but I'm just gonna use AI to generate a cover for now. And the cover image is ready, so I can attach it directly to the podcast. And there you have it, right? And then you can also convert this podcast into a video in just a few clicks. So you navigate to the My Video section, and in here you just click on Create New Video. It's going to ask you a few details. So the first thing that you want to do is give your video a name, and then you select the podcast that you have created. It's going to retrieve all the episodes. So you select the one that you want to create the video for, and then it performs checks to ensure it has the audio and the subtitles files. When it does have that, you can go and select your template. So let's say I want to create a horizontal horizontal podcast, and it's gonna retrieve the template and it's gonna use that. So you can click on the next button, and as you can see, it has initiated the progress. And we can navigate back to the video page, and as you can see, it's in process right now. So I'm going to pause this here and I'm going to come back once this is done. All right, the video is rendered, so let's go ahead and check it out.
Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Agent.
Now as you can see here, we have our podcast title, the name of the episode, an animation that shows when the person is speaking. Then we have the image of the speaking person in color, and the person and the guest or the other person that's not currently speaking is grayed out for the sake of better visual effects.
I'm your host.
Forward to our conversation about agent.
And now, as you can see, when she starts speaking, her image is colored and the other person's grayed out.
Take AI. It's such a revolutionary time for businesses, isn't it?
Hey everyone.
So yeah, that's how it works.